Also developing, residents are waiting to see what happens with the Maryland Piedmont Reliability Project. That's the controversial 70-mile transmission line. A judge heard arguments nearly 3 weeks ago about whether or not developers could access private property in Maryland. With the judge yet to rule, Fox 45's Jessica Babb is showing us where the case stands.
It's been nearly 3 weeks since attorneys representing landowners and those representing the developers of the controversial transmission line duked it out in court.
I think the judge was very thoughtful, and that's all we need here.
But so far, the judge in this case has yet to decide whether or not Public Service Enterprise Group, the developers hoping to get the transmission line up and running by June 2027, can enter private property to do the necessary land surveys. So far, property owners are refusing to let them on their land.
I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but people are definitely on edge. They want to know, are there going to be people on my land? Especially as a farmer, I'm planting things right now.
Brandon Hill is one of those landowners.
I don't want to rush the judge or anything. I'm not unhappy that he hasn't made a decision yet. Any delay to the timeline, I'm not necessarily against, but I definitely feel like I'm in limbo.
Trying to get access to around 100 properties in this lawsuit, PSEG has argued the law is on their side, allowing them to access the land in eminent domain cases. They say without it, with growing energy demands, there will be reliability issues with the power grid. But attorneys representing landowners argue PSEG is misinterpreting the law to enable a shortcut for greedy developers to generate easier profits, especially since they feel the project won't benefit Marylanders, but will benefit data centers.
And now's the time that we need to stand up as a community and say, no, we want our rights to be preserved.
And while it will ultimately be up to a judge, right after the hearing in May, the judge asked for more information from the attorneys showing that PSEG will be harmed if this transmission line doesn't happen. While PSEG argued in court they could lose money, in follow-up information they argued landowners obstructing their right of entry harms their ability to freely exercise their rights. Not to mention the project will be delayed and they'll miss deadlines with the grid operator. Since attorneys for landowners have been pointing to an order from federal regulators allowing PSEG to be reimbursed for most of the project costs if it isn't built, they responded to the follow-up information, saying since PSEG is unable to demonstrate that they would be harmed, PSEG is pivoting to a new argument. Carroll and Frederick is an attorney representing Stop MPRP.
There is a lot that's in limbo, and so it's just, I guess what everybody should keep in mind is this is a 67-mile transmission project that's going to encumber properties in perpetuity. It's not something that there's a quick fix to. The PSC has a deliberative process that it wants to go through, and that's something that we can't short circuit.
At the pre-hearing conference, which is set for Tuesday morning, they'll discuss the project and will set a schedule as it works its way through the state approval process.
Because this is not an ordinary proceeding, at this point, we don't know whether the application is deemed complete for processing. We don't know if the proceeding is going to move forward. We don't know if the applicant is going to be submitting supplemental testimonies.
This is a long process. Stay engaged, stay involved. Don't get too discouraged, keep showing up.
In Baltimore, Jessica Babb, Fox 45 News.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.